Again, we're here, Jamal Johnson, Robert Bickel. We're in Sanctuary. We're listening to Andrew Wilson, Sunday, September 27th, 2015.
Yeah, no, we didn't hear this before. We're taking
We've
it as
never
is.
heard this before.
Oh, I got a crown, therefore I can strut around and say I'm the king of the world. Mother couldn't do that. She received her crown, but she had to go humbly through a...
He's strutting around saying he's the king of the world, being out in the woods.
This is laughable.
He's strutting around with no money. He's strutting. Do you see how merciless the archangel is? Do you see how freaking merciless that is? The guy has no freaking money. He's walking around with zero physical, material, monetary inheritance. Do you understand that? And do you see how merciless the archangel is? The archangel still is so empty, he still sees the very breath that Adam takes as an insult. Adam should not even be alive. Adam should not have a sense of self as God's son, because that's what I wanted. So as long as Hyunjinim is walking around knowing who he is as the anointed son of true parents, it's offensive.
You want to know what? I'm glad it's offensive.
Okay.
I mean, right now I can tell that Andrew is personally pissed off by the tone of his voice. Now, you want to know what? Good. I want to piss that damn archangel off.
Yeah.
Listen, he needs to be put in his place. So, oh, Andrew and all the others, you don't like the fact that he claims that he's the king. No, it's not Hyunjin that's claiming he's the king. Right there is your first mistake. Who? God? Father, true parents claim that.
Yep.
And anointed that.
Yeah.
So who are you wailing against? Once again, I hear a voice of an ancient serpent screaming out again, just like Isaiah confronted.
Why don't you go?
Read Isaiah again. I think you'll see a lot of the family fed in there.
You privileged courtiers. Why don't you go to Mother's court and ask her why she crowned Hyunjin?
Is she going to say because I was forced to by Father? That she never really meant to? That it was conditional when very clearly the written statements, the prayer, and the proclamation that Father stated during all three coronations is, as of this moment, of the very moment that they were coronated and crowned, he walks and carries the full power, authority of true parents here on earth. What's the word again?
Taishinja.
Okay.
Representative body.
And meaning substantial body. Body like a doctor touches. Not a figurative word. In actual essence and substance.
Apparently it means stuff like power of attorney and everything. So representative body, like legally, like representing parents. So we know that that has cosmic value. So, you know, anybody who says that it's not true after it's written, you know, by Father's pen and by Father's hand, okay, call it what you want. You're a liar. Okay,
yeah.
everybody can stand on it. You know, even you can stand on it in front of Father and say, Father, you said, you know, because he said. And Father is a man with a mind-body unity, and Father honors his own word. Okay, so go ask Mother why she agreed to it. And we know what she's going to say. See, Eva's going to say, so either Mother is the person who doesn't really know the principle so good, so she just kind of tags along, and she has her little debates in the bedroom maybe with Father that we never hear about, and who knows, but ultimately she comes around and she agrees with Father. She was there when he signed the thing. She was there during all three crownings, right? So we know that she agreed to some external degree. Okay? So we shouldn't hold her to that? Why not? Because if we don't hold her to that, then we can't, we're people who are saying what you say doesn't matter in the kingdom. Okay? And that means mind-body disunity. Do you understand what I'm saying? So go ask her. Nobody's asking her. Maybe
They're afraid to ask her. You know what amazes me is all these people out there, all these proclaim how close they're, or they understand, or that we don't. As far as I know, I'm one of the few that's actually said, I'm willing, and I do mean this, I am willing to go and stand in front of Mother directly and state exactly what I've stated, regardless of the consequences to me.
the truth is you got to do your best. If Father told us do our best by our conscience, that's what we get convicted by. I mean, isn't that what we say to all our guests? That you send yourself to heaven or hell, right? Because you have to take into accounting with your own mind-body conscience connection about where you're comfortable standing. And Robert is saying, I'm comfortable standing in the face of God with what I've done. So why can't you comfortably say, go in front of Mother, she's responsible for her retort, but nobody's asking this question. Okay, why did she put the crown on his head? Anyway, let's move on.
Let's move on.
7-year course. How about you? How about our pastor Manoj here? He was appointed pastor. Could he, as soon as he appointed pastor, suddenly everybody praise him? No, he had to go through some kind of course where he gained your trust. I hope he gained your trust. I think he's doing a good
Let's
job,
stop
isn't he?
right here. I want to use the exact example he has of the pastor there in Clifton. He says, oh, could he have praised him? You want to know what? If he'd been appointed pastor and the people were really God's children, he would have been lifted up and praised immediately. I will say that.
That's true.
Because here's the thing, is in God's family, it's not earned. It's given by grace.
That's so true.
It's a gift. It's a gift freely given of God. And the other thing is if the pastor there, and I'm sure he's a good brother, is humble in that, he understands the responsibility that comes with it, and will serve as such. And immediately God's children would lift him up and praise him. Actually, you know, this is what John was supposed to do from the very moment that God himself testified to John the Baptist, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. John should have said, yes, God, and immediately lifted him up. The fact that Andrew says, oh no, this is not the way it happens, or not the way it should be, really tells you about the culture of the family fed.
Boom.
It's not of God's family.
Boom, that's why I left.
It's actually of, guess who? You should be smart enough by now to know.
It was in an archangelic position. It played the role of a good archangel during the Unification Church time, during Restoration era. And as soon as it overstayed its welcome, that means it persisted beyond the Restoration era, it became a renegade archangel. Period. Okay? During Restoration, it was playing the role of a good archangel, not a good son. We were not sons and daughters in that era. We were just moving from bad archangel to good archangel. But as soon as it overstayed its welcome, when Father tried to take the church sign down and the church sign didn't want to come down, right? That's when it became renegade. Okay? And there are consequences in the aftermath of that, including all the blessed children going out and banging people. Okay? Those are the consequences. So it is bad, and you should come out of her. Okay? Come out of her, Babylon. Come out of Babylon. Okay? So it's absolute where I'm talking from. I'm talking from a position of understanding principle, absolutely. It was good in the era. The principle says, and I'll put it up on the screen, the principle says, when the era changes, the old standard of good and evil passes away with it, and something that was relatively good becomes evil, can become a relative evil. And that's exactly what has happened with the Unification Church, okay? So it's not taking away the past glory or anything good that the church did in the past. is out of sync with this current era. Have you ever heard of fourth Adam's era or settlement era or era after the coming of heaven or the era of Chunoguk? All of those are post-restoration. An era has changed, newsflash. The other thing I want to say, what was Adam's relationship with the archangel? How was he supposed to subjugate the archangel if there were no fall? Was he supposed to win all things back from the archangel? No. He was going to subjugate the archangel simply by saying no to him. That's it. Okay? And this is a point that Robert has made. I love Robert. The power of the word no for the child of God is just, it's glorious, isn't it?
Yep.
Now, because of the fall, the archangel took possession of all things. So we're looking at the Esau who has to give the land back to Jacob, right? And that kind of thing. Right now, he's applying the standard of restoration, okay? Relationship between the Adam figure and the archangel, restoration, okay? Because he's saying that Hyungjinim has to win back something from him and from all of you. And he has to win your approval until you give something to him. Maybe you're going to give, I don't know, your approval so that he can run the church or something. And Hyungjinim is not of the frame of mind that he has to appeal to you to win anything back. Hyungjinim is of the frame of mind that Adam was in, that if it is breaking God's commandment, his responsibility is to say no. And you know, that's what he's saying. While he's saying that he's strutting around, he's so offended by this strutting. Do you know what Hyungjinim is basically saying? No.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
No.
That's the polite way of putting it.
He's saying, I'm not going for it.